History AF podcast. I got my buddy Ivy Young. Say what's up, dude.
What's going on?
And let these two introduce themselves. Go for it.
My name is Diamond, and I am the co-host of the Strange Diamonds podcast, and this is my co-host.
I'm Diana, and yeah, part of the Strange Diamonds podcast, or Dirty, as...
Yeah, I like to call her Dirty D.
Nice.
Yeah, we were kicking names around for like the podcast, and I was like, as we were kicking them around, I was like, "What about the Diamond and Dirty D podcast?"
That sounds like a rock band.
Yeah.
Well, but then we started thinking about people's search history.
Wasn't gonna be good.
Yeah, as they're like trying to look up the podcast,
Yeah,
or maybe trying to
podcast.
find
It's just not the
yeah, like let's find
Big,
the
huge
Diamond
penises.
and Dirty D
Yeah.
podcast.
No.
There we go. So we decided against that. But yes, so my lovely co-host Dirty D.
Nice. And you guys just started it?
Yeah.
Yes, we just did. So we've been at it, or kind of doing a lot of planning for about 6 months, something like that. Just trying to get it off of ground. Diana and I met when I was working on a previous podcast. It was all about like horror movies and stuff like that. We actually met at like a horror convention.
Cool.
And so that's kind of like how we hooked up, and just kind of like started hanging out and seeing horror movies together and having a lot of fun. And then when we decided to do our own, we were just like, let's just do some weird shit. Because we're all about getting weird.
Well, I think that's the internet, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Well, thinking of weird, let's take a little drink.
All right.
Cheers.
Ready?
Ready?
Everybody.
You've had that. You haven't had
Crack,
that, right?
crack.
Cheers, guys.
Crack.
All right.
Good to be
Cheers,
back in
guys.
Charleston.
We're glad to have you back in
That's
Charleston.
good.
Oh, man, I
I haven't
missed it.
seen him forever, by the way.
Oh, no. I saw you driving that one day, though.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That was
Driving down Tanger, and you had just gotten off the plane or something.
I was like,
that.
hey, what's up? It looked like you were having a stressful day.
I was having a day.
You just went, hey, man. I was like, yo, hey.
I don't remember what was going on that day, but I looked over and I saw Tyler, and I was just like,
I think you had like a cigarette out the door, and you're just like, hey, man. I'm like, I just got off a plane. I just saw Jason Diamond driving his car. Does he not like me anymore? Yeah. It was
Of course,
funny.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Well, you know, Ivy met your brother back in the day too, because we've been playing music forever, and you know,
Of course.
So you know, to JD, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I want to talk about your podcast and many other things. You know, what's the goal? You guys want to try and just put out a whole bunch of fun content, or you want to put on events, or you know, you're trying to travel and do stuff with it? Like, what? I mean, you know, obviously you could do a far-fetched goal or like the first attainable one, but you know, what do you want to do?
Sure. What do you think, buddy?
I mean, eventually traveling and doing it would be a lot of fun, you know.
People love that.
But, you know, starting off with just doing episodes, probably going to different conventions and kind of getting our name out there. And then, traveling would be really fun.
Yeah, we were working on that, and again, we met at a convention. Actually, that's how we met.
Charleston?
Columbia.
Well, Columbia.
Cool.
So, close enough.
Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina. But that's kind of how we met. But yeah, I mean, kind of long term goal, of course. You know, build a following. We're just really trying to have fun with it. I mean, first and foremost. And so, kind of our stretch is like, yeah, let's get out to, you know, conventions and, you know, get some sponsorship and, you know, see what we can do around Charleston. And we've met and we've kind of got like a little bit of a lineup right now of just some other podcasters that that we have met that are just kind of into the same shit that we are.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of people that are like hooking up and trying to follow us and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, long term is just to get out wherever we can.
Sure.
And of course, we can make a little scratch along the way. I mean, I'm not going to be upset about that.
No,
But,
totally. I mean, everybody wants to be on a podcast.
but yeah, just basically, you know, just fun. Like, we're having fun with it.
Yeah,
That's,
I mean, that's the main thing is, and I mean, when we were deciding on what we want to talk about, and, you know, we love horror movies, so we want to do that. But then we're like anything weird. I mean, we're in Charleston, so history is weird here. And so we're like, we'll talk about some history stuff or weird.
Oh, man, maybe we should
We
do
brought
one
up
at
cryptids. We brought up all sorts of stuff.
We'll do one at the old, we used to
Jail.
play there, the
Yeah,
jail.
the old
Yeah,
jail.
the
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
jail would be really good.
Shit.
About to say.
Yeah, there's like some there one of the ghosts that they talked about was a ghost that reminded me of 13 Ghosts of the Jackal.
Cool.
So just to like scratch people
When
up.
we played there, I just graduated college, literally like 5 minutes, and we're playing what do they call it? The jailbreak.
Jailbreak.
Yeah, jailbreak.
And
Yeah.
Rickert and Jeff were there. Shout out to those guys.
Yep.
And they got hammered drunk, like embarrassing.
Not them.
Yeah. Because I just come hang out, man. And the green room was in like a jail,
Right.
and they were just like, and, it's like my college friends, and then there's Rickert and Jeff, which I love those guys. But I'm just saying, there's like a difference. My friend's like, "Are these your fucking friends?" Dude? I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah." They're like, "It was so much fun, man. That was a blast."
Those shows were cool though. Jailbreak was always fun. I remember the first time that I went there, even though like it was like during the day, and the Old City Jail's got a lot of history behind it and a lot of scary shit that fucking happened there. So I do remember the first time that I went to that, even just like walking into the jail.
You feel
like
it.
you do.
yes.
Man. Like,
Oh,
it sinks on you. You're just like, oh
Yeah.
But
100%. That's why it was cool to do it. But like, even if you did a tour, I did a tour in high school. You might
Yeah,
have
yeah,
done it
yeah.
too.
I did. There you go.
So
Yeah, it was a requirement.
We've done one.
Yeah.
It was a requirement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
What was the coach's name?
Coach Chalice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, yeah.
history class. Yeah, you had to do a tour.
You had to do
That's
it, and like
interesting.
the next day, all the kids were just freaked out. They do that trick where they tie you up.
Yeah.
oh shit. Okay,
They
yeah,
always
yeah,
get
yeah.
a kid to do it, and they just sling up because they're just trying to show how scary it was.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Was
like
it-
they tortured people in there.
Now I remember when my husband and I we did the tour and we got down to like the basement before they even said what they used the basement for.
Yeah.
I looked at him and he was like, "I don't feel good here. Like this is not a good space." And then they talked about it and I was like, "Yep, that's why." Like that's a
You know the story too of the kid
God.
they killed, the young kid, where they would drop like the lead in the ground and stuff.
No, I don't know that.
So there's they'll show you like where the hole was. Now it's like covered up, but like a hanging, like in like Red Dead Redemption 2 or some shit, some cowboy shit, which I love that game.
Yeah, me too.
Just freaking shooting people and riding fucking horses. I love it. What I'm saying is, when they hang somebody, they fall down, right?
Right.
And so what they did there, and they would tell people to, I'm probably butchering this story, but they would tell people, hey, maybe you don't want to come to these because they're a little like
More
worse.
intense.
Yeah.
And so what they do is you'd be standing on the ground, and they would drop like lead metal in the ground, and it would shoot you up. And that's how they did like a 7-year-old boy or something
Oh.
who like stole
Damn.
some rich guy's wallet, and it was like they stopped doing it after that. So
oh gosh.
Wow.
I mean, but they're just telling you all these crazy stories. You're just kind of like, oh my god,
Yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Not trying to be a bummer here.
Man,
No.
It was brutal back then. Jeez.
This is all
Yeah,
our
to that.
area. This is what we do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is what we're here for. And of course, it is fun and a lot of stuff. Us doing movie viewings together. So we started doing that
Cool.
a while back. So we would get a bunch of people together and go view a movie, and then once we were done with the movie, we'd go back and do a podcast. And just that kind of fun shit, especially like with the horror movies in general. Like sometimes, like we went, what was Imaginary? I think.
Imaginary.
Yeah, we went saw
that was
Imaginary,
rough.
and I think we were. I,
No, no.
it's
God,
just,
it's-
What's that?
Yeah.
Go.
no, go for it. Go for
Is
it.
that a new movie or
No, it came out last year. What in the summer, right?
I don't think it was that. I think it was 2 years
it
ago.
was a scary movie?
Was it older than
It was
that?
2 years ago because I was
Well, it
pregnant.
was-
I didn't have.
In theory, it was a scary movie.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yes, it was supposed to be a scary movie. It's basically about a little girl, and she befriends the bear. It's kind of like Annabelle in a way, but she befriends the bear, and the bear's like evil. But like when the bear goes like full, I'm gonna attack like mode. It's
Yeah.
very cartoonish. It looks like some weird thing from like Five Nights at Freddy. Like
Oh, wow.
Like that part stunk.
yeah, there is.
Like, yeah, the whole movie, like, I mean, we got in
There's
and
a lot.
it was Blumhouse, which Blumhouse Studios usually makes really good stuff. And so we saw that it was Blumhouse and based off of commercials, we were like, I was like, this could be pretty awesome. Like, it looks good.
Okay.
And we went and about
Oh, we were-
maybe 30 minutes in, maybe a little longer than that, we just started laughing our asses off the whole time. And so, when we went back and started talking about that, like, we were just laughing so hard at it that like it was hilarious.
That was a fun episode to do afterwards. So because we all were laughing and just cracking
Yeah.
jokes left and right. One of my favorite things that was one of my best friends. She's a firefighter, and so there was a fire in the movie, and she was so upset about it. She was like, "That is not how it works." And she like had a whole shit around.
She was more upset with how the house caught on fire than anything else. Like, we were like, that's really what you took away from it, was how the house caught on fire?
She was pissed.
Where'd you see it? In Charleston?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Diana actually lives in Somerville. She lives...
Oh, but it wasn't at a theater. It was at...
No, it was
we
at
saw
a movie theater. So
Which
we
one?
were the Azalea.
Oh, yeah.
Azalea in Somerville. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So she lives right behind the theater. So when we were getting up and getting all of our friends together, kind of when we started getting this kind of rolling, we would go there to see the movie and then immediately just run back to Diana's house, which was
Just hang out.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we
later.
just hang out and drink and do the
That's
podcast,
fun.
and it was
Drink
just
and record.
Dude,
All
when's the
right.
last time you saw a movie in the theater?
Oh, God.
I haven't seen one since COVID.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
because in LA you
Yeah.
couldn't do shit. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's
last
true.
one I saw in theater in Hollywood was it 1914, that crazy World War I movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a scary movie for me. Like, that shit freaks me out.
Yeah.
I get so scared. If I watch a scary thing, it fucks me up for like 3 days.
I
but-
did do one after the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I did that at the Terrace Theater.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I did
okay.
go see that.
You
Yeah.
can drink there, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, Terrace.
And they gave you one of those little stickers, the V.
Yeah.
Yeah, the V card,
Because
yeah.
that was my first time watching it
that's
in the
cool,
theater.
man.
Yeah, that was
That's
pretty
cool.
cool. And then they started throwing toast and everything.
I was gonna say, Ivy, you lost your V card a long time ago. This guy used to say in high school, and then when we used to tour a lot, like, just chicks loved him, and we were like, dude, you steal all the women, dude. It was just all the time. It was true,
Really?
dude.
I did not. I did not.
Dude, we used to party hard, man.
Yeah, we did.
We,
Yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah. We
I'm not gonna go further into it. but-
I've spent a couple of late nights with you guys, so
the music farm. You came to that a couple times.
Yeah, oh,
Those-
yeah,
those
oh,
are
yeah.
fun nights, man.
Yeah.
Gosh, dude, we were definitely partying. Then of course, ACs.
Of course.
Well, yeah, let's talk about a lot of stuff. But this is fun to ask because I'm happy to be home. What's your favorite bar in Charleston?
Oh gosh.
Is it Heroes?
It was Heroes. But
What is
gosh,
Heroes? By the way?
It's in Monk's Corner, Goose Creek.
yeah, it's the dive bar I used to work at.
Heroes?
Yeah.
It's kind of near the Navy base,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay,
So-
I gotcha.
So what about you?
Well, I mean, it was ACs for the longest time, and I'm showing my age on this.
The OG one,
Yeah, OGACs, yeah. OGACs,
which was
and
by kind of like where the Apple Store is, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right there on King Street.
Did you go to the? Sorry,
Right across from the music farm.
We'll keep saying what you're saying, but because back then wasn't Cumberland's over there, the second one.
Yes, the second Cumberland's. It was a little bit further down King Street. It was maybe like 5 or 6 blocks down King Street.
You and I never got
but-
to go in there.
No,
we
we didn't,
were
yeah.
too young.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was fortunate to know a lot of people that got me into everywhere. Places where I was not supposed to be. So the OGACs, like and of course we've been to the OGACs a few times.
Well, I'm talking about the first one, before it got burned down. I didn't go to that one.
Yeah. The one that Rickard burned down.
No, it was his day off.
It was his day off.
It was-
Okay, my
okay,
bad. That was
okay.
the whole story.
Okay, so we can't blame it on him.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But then no, you've not been to the rec room plenty of times. Actually, you know what's crazy, man?
Yeah, we have been
Say-
to the rec room.
Say your favorite bar, but what is it? Rec room most PBR sold in the country.
Yeah.
Nashville took it. Now it's what's the honky tonk on Broadway? The original one. Do you know what I'm talking about? You been to Nashville a lot?
No, I've never been to Nashville.
I'll look
actually.
it up. But here, but
Yeah.
they lost.
Seven.
So now there's a honky tonk on Nashville that took the PBR title.
Well, weren't the PBRs like a rec room? Wasn't it like $1 for one?
Yeah, yeah,
Or,
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Super
just-
cheap.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude.
My
That's where
favorite,
everybody went.
Honestly, it's been long gone, but it was Boone's Bar. That was one of my
Oh,
favorites.
yeah, dude.
Kane behind the bar, who was the manager then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I used to tell people I owned Boone's.
of course you did.
Yeah. And chicks
Yeah.
be like, "No fucking way." I'm like, yeah. Wait, I've been to your apartment. It sucks.
And then, of course, ACs.
Of course, Aces. You used to bartend there.
I gotta take you still to Godwin's beer hall.
Yeah, I've never been to Godwin's.
Yeah, that's a really cool. It's a beer hall, and it's got beers from like all around the world, and
Oh, that's
it's in
killer.
Somerville.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool spot.
Nice.
I gotta find this bar, dude. It's gonna kill me. But yeah, dude, what was the other bar you used to hang out all the time? You used to bartend there too.
Burns Alley.
Not Burns Alley. Did you hang out Burns Alley?
No, never.
No.
I'm sure I've been there once or twice, but I never really kind of like frequented.
I was the door guy. I hated it.
Yeah.
No. That was the bar. It was the real skinny one, and you were the bartender.
Oh, Smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah, Smoke.
No,
That was great. That was my first experience, other than Ricker, where like I didn't have to pay for shit.
Yeah. Now that was a fun place.
It's called Roberts. There you go. Boom.
Okay.
I was gonna
Gotcha.
it. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah. So let me ask you this. So like, is there like a movie coming out you guys are stoked about?
What are we thinking about?
There was one coming out. We talked about it, and I don't remember.
We just did. You actually got to watch Nosferatu. I haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet.
I did. I did
but
like
I know
Nosferatu.
you really like
It wasn't
Nosferatu.
scary, but it's beautifully shot. I will say that.
Cool.
Have you seen The Lighthouse?
No, I heard it's great. Though.
Yeah, with Robert Pattinson
Yep.
and Willem Dafoe. Yeah, so
Really?
the same director that did The Lighthouse did the new.
That's
Nice.
technically like a scary film, right? It's a little serious.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary movie, but it's more like it's really just twisted, and just fucking weird. Like it's like there's mermaid vaginas and like
Jeez.
all kind of weird shit going down.
That sounds pretty hot.
Yeah. There you go. You always wondered how that worked with the mermaids. Now you
Yeah, it's
you
like,
know,
do they have the human top?
go watch
Like the
go watch The Lighthouse, and
There
then
you go.
you'll figure out how
You
that
get your
works.
answer?
clear drink. We did this last week with a rum company in Nashville, and we kept drinking, and by the end of it, it was a blast. Cheers.
Cheers, bud.
We're all screaming. And
But
oof.
no, we're always on the hunt though. And like I said, you know, we're working on expanding. In fact, on our first episode that we just recorded, we kind of went into a bunch of shit because we're gonna do conspiracy theories. Which are always fun.
Yeah.
Whether
It's fun.
Yeah.
whether
I think the older I get, the more I believe conspiracy theories.
well, I was like the reason. I mean, I've gotten into a lot of conspiracy theories, but not long ago, whatever you think about Trump, whatever. Not getting
No, go
political.
for it. I'm getting fun.
But he's trying to get the JFK files released, and
yeah, they won't release
I mean, there's so much shit about the JFK files that and I followed it for forever, and apparently Francis Ford Coppola is like this huge JFK junkie and knows everything about it. He even did documentary.
I saw literally a clip because that's how we all get our news now. They're talking about that. Like Trump's gonna release it, and someone's like, "You can't do that."
Right.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Why can't you not release it?"
Well, I would assume if they're going to release it, it'll be like heavily redacted. Like, you know how they
Yeah.
black out like
Yeah.
half of the
No,
document?
you open it and
You
just
get-
nothing's in it.
Yeah.
So where the hell is it?
Right. Yeah, you got it.
They released it.
Yeah.
On to the next
They
one.
black out all the words, just A, them, and the. and-
Yeah.
JFK.
JFK.
I mean, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, all more shit kind of gets exposed, and you're kind of like, "Whoa, dude, this is a crazy world we live in."
Yeah.
Shit's way above our head.
Yeah, and I think one of the things, when we started working on this, because we were kind of locked into kind of this format before where we were just doing scary movies, and I was like, that's too
It's very narrow.
No.
Yeah, and at some point you're not necessarily going to run out of content, specifically or whatever, but it's just kind of you only have so much room to work. So when we were talking about where we wanted to go with this and what we're trying to do with it, we wanted to just kind of broaden it as well.
Sure.
So we were talking about our conspiracy theories, whether we believe them or not, which ones are just fucking fun.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on with the goddamn aliens, but we'll
Right.
never find out what the
Area
fuck's
51.
going on with.
Do you remember when they announced it, and then Mexico showed their alien,
Yeah.
and it was like a cake or something? You remember something? It was I'll probably put up in the podcast. I'll just get a picture of it. I think they just wanted to be like, yeah, we believe it too, and it was totally not an alien.
That's so funny.
It was a cake.
It wasn't a cake, but look at that.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I do remember seeing that.
Oh, yeah. I know what
looks-
you're talking about. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a what the fuck is it?
It looks like a
Right,
prop.
right, yeah, what is this thing? It's looks like, what do they call them? Remember those little, little things that you could put in a cup of water and it would grow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like little dinosaurs or
Yeah.
whatever. That's what it looked like to me. It's just like you just drop that in there.
There was a guy holding. He goes like, "Yeah, aliens.
yeah. Look at it, alien. Yeah.
Mexico."
You know, I just stuck it in a glass of water for a little bit, and that's what we got.
Aliens. What's that? What's that meme? The History Channel guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Aliens.
That's funny.
I would be remiss, and now that we got on this, I have a friend. His name is AJ White. Shout out AJ. But he used to work for me, and he looks exactly
Like that dude?
like that fucking dude. And so every time he would comment anything or like text me, I would always send him back. I'd be like, aliens. And he'd be like, fucking Diamond, like, stop, dude. Like, it got so ridiculous that it was like, oh, it's like, Diamond, cut it the fuck out.
That's
Like,
so
Right.
funny.
but yeah, aliens with the great hair going on.
I don't know, man. I believe in aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
I do.
The universe is too vast not to like have some other life form. out
Right,
there.
like-
yeah.
It makes no sense.
No.
You've been out to you lived in Sacramento
Yeah.
area. Did you go down to Joshua Tree?
No,
I
no.
love Joshua Tree. And all I'm trying to say is when you're out there's no light pollution because you're far from LA.
Right.
And so of course we're always on mushrooms out there. And you're just like
Well, of course, like you do.
as you will. you know?
Yeah. Well, it is
if
the
you will.
Joshua Tree.
I'm just saying, you're just kind of like looking up there, like, dude, what the hell's up there? Because there's more stars up, in somewhere out there.
Right,
We were talking about Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe's the same thing. There's like no
So you just see
light
the
pollution,
whole
so you
sky.
just see the sky. It's beautiful, but yeah, same thing. It's like kind of like, you know,
How?
Yeah, it's
How could it just be us hanging out?
Yeah.
Like, and people get so pissed when like their cell reception doesn't work.
Right.
You're like, dude, chill out.
Yeah, just calm down.
Be in nature. It's okay.
Yeah, be in nature, bro. Take more mushrooms. You like mushrooms?
Oh, I love
I
mushrooms.
love mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
My parents found out, like, you did mushrooms? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And literally, I was like, oh shit. And they were just like, how were they? I was like, oh.
Somebody's interested.
One time, when the 2016, 17, I moved back from Nashville to Charleston. I was staying at my parents' place for like a month, and a hurricane hit 2 days. Whatever hurricane that was, 2016, a real big one. Everyone had to evacuate. The guys from Seawater, a whole bunch of band dudes. They stayed, and eventually they called me like, dude, we're getting kicked out from the National Guard. Like we need somewhere because they're out surfing. And they're
Right.
like, dude, we gotta stay with you. So I was like, hey, mom, dad, can my friends stay? And I was like, my mom's like, how many? I was like, 8. And my dad's like, fuck no. And I was like, hey, chill. I'm like, it's Tyler's age. Anyway, what I'm getting at is the mushroom thing. Hey, mom, do you like that? One dude made a weed cheesecake, Sam Roberts, the drummer.
Yeah.
And my mom got into it. Like, dude, we're in the pool drinking.
I
It's,
think
like,
it was
raining
brownies.
sideways.
I think it was.
You were
brownies.
there too?
Yeah, I think it was brownies.
Well, no matter
Yeah.
what she ate.
Yeah, she ate it.
She ate it, and all of a sudden
There was some type of confection.
Yeah.
she was just like, at one point, she was like, dude, eyes are so red. She was like, that's some good ass fucking shit. It was so
That's the best fucking cheesecake
Yeah,
I've ever had.
she knew exactly what was in there. I was like, fuck yeah, mom.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, let me ask you this because, obviously the movie stuff. See any cool shows lately? Or you looking forward to any shows?
you just put me on the Terror.
Yeah. So we just I had been wanting to watch this show called The Terror. It was on AMC a couple of years ago, kind of around like season 2 of like Walking Dead when they were kind of trying to like capitalize on all this like horror
Zombie shit.
stuff and zombie shit. So there was a show called The Terror, and it was on Netflix, and I had never seen it, but I had always seen the like trailers for it, and so I was like, all right, I need to check this shit out. So I watched it, and then I got her turned on to it.
Oh.
And it was cool. It was like this whole like, and it's based off of a true story.
It's based off of the ships. Like all the crew disappeared. Like they found the ships and they'd all disappeared.
Like the container ships?
No, it was back in the 1800s.
Oh, like
So
Oh, wow.
one of the ships was called the Terror. I do not remember the other ship. Do you?
no, I can't. Or they,
It's like
it was
like
like
an
the
A.
U4.
I don't remember.
It
the
doesn't
other
matter. It
one.
was
Yeah.
like the Euphoria or something like that.
Yeah, something like
but
that, but-
anyways, what they were trying to do is they were trying to find a passage through the Arctic.
and people were just dying.
For shipping
Okay.
purposes, so they're still exploring and trying to figure out a quicker route from the UK to like either Canada or the Americas by going through the Arctic. And so these ships just like disappeared, and like all the crew disappeared, basically never heard from again.
Oh wow.
Actually happened.
It
Yeah, that-
actually happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
So of course the show takes like their own kind of liberty on the story, but like
through Antarctica. A lot
yes,
of conspiracy theories down there.
yeah. So they're chipping through one of my favorites.
Yeah?
So well, one of my favorite movies, but also like there's been a lot of stuff popping up about that. What's my favorite movie, Diana?
The Thing. Loves
Yeah,
The
the
Thing.
thing is my favorite. You ever
Oh,
seen
The Thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kurt
Okay.
Russell. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Great
my
movie.
favorite horror movie ever.
Great movie.
No, but so these ships, like in the 1800s, are like trying to chip through the ice and like find this passage through, and they get stuck and have to spend like a couple of winters there. Yeah,
They're stuck.
yeah, they're just
There's all-
stuck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of cool stuff with it where it does, you know, you get cabin fever, and then you got the crew like getting scurvy and
Yeah.
you know, just starting to in general lose their fucking minds.
So
Yeah.
like
There-
hypothermia too and all that.
Oh yeah,
Like,
oh yeah,
cold.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's that movie? True story with the soccer kids and the airplane goes down.
Oh yeah, Alive.
I mean that's fucking
Yeah,
scary, too,
Alive.
man.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I haven't
think
seen
I've
that.
True story. They fly over Argentina or some shit, and the plane goes down, and they live there for like 8 months,
Wow.
and they have to start eating each other, and it's a true story. Yeah.
Yep.
My buddy Danny Valit gave me a whole bunch of weed, and I was freaking out.
Yeah, it's a creepy one. Yeah,
It is creepy
Yeah, it's a really good one.
because the avalanches are hitting them, and then
Yeah.
then they're all stuck, and it's
Oh,
just
wow.
gross.
What was crazy? I mean, there's a lot of crazy parts to it, but like the one thing that really stuck out to me with the terror was that like, you know, the guys would get frostbite, and it'd be just like you have a little scab on yourself, and they just would they basically would just cut off the toe and cauterize
Wow.
it, call it a fucking day. And I was like,
Yeah.
like, and I was like,
Because
damn.
survival, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're like, well, all right.
Like that's
Yeah.
all they were doing. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like I couldn't imagine. Just-
Yeah, right. You're
Hey,
just
I
like,
have
oh,
a-
oh.
Like you're
Cross my
working a
finger.
ship. Like you have to like grab a rope or something. You just cut your finger off and keep going about it. Yep. I still got 9 other fingers. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's all these crazy scenes. It's funny because like they're getting frostbite and all this shit's happening to them, or they're getting hurt, like trying to, you know, run the ship or whatever. And then there'll just be some random scene where like you know, like some of the main characters are like talking, and just in the background they're just sawing somebody's leg off like it's nothing, and just like
Man.
yeah, just like
Yeah, when
they're
I-
just sitting there just like, hey, we gotta count how much canned food we have and blah blah blah, blah, and just sawing somebody's leg off
Yeah.
like it's nothing.
Like, ah, you
Yeah,
gotta-
all he got was a shot of whiskey and a bar put in his mouth, and that was it.
Wow. Oh man.
yeah.
I hate that shit. Like a movie like that will
Thank
mess
you.
me up for a couple days.
Yeah.
That's why I can't watch that stuff.
Like Saw, that was always one of those like
oh my god,
it
yeah.
made you cringe just just enough. It's like damn.
So I have to ask, so what movies do you think, like, what's the scariest movie you guys have seen?
You know, it's kind of on that gruesome. It's you know, when the kids go off for like a vacation or whatever. It's like a bunch of college kids, and then like they get abducted, and you know, I'm trying to think.
Hostel?
Hostel.
Yeah. You're
That
thinking
kind,
hostile.
that kind of stuff right there, that freaks me out. Just
Yeah.
because it could actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So the torture porn messes you up.
Yes.
That's what we in the horror world like to call
Yeah. Okay.
torture
There's
porn.
a term for this.
Yeah,
Okay. I
torture
did
porn.
not know
Yes,
that.
there's a term for it. So
Because it makes you think, because that happens to people.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Like
oh my god.
people just disappear like that. Like
Well,
you never know. Like,
Parasite freaked me out.
Parasite.
Parasite.
It was that family
I've seen
where they were.
Parasite. I've seen parts. I have to.
So
I want to
it-
sit down and fully watch it.
It was a big movie. It won like Oscar Academy Awards and was all in Korean.
Yeah, I was.
And
gonna-
what it was is
Oh
it wasn't like a
I,
parasite attacking you.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
no.
parasites to a rich family taking advantage of them. And then
Yes,
at the
yeah.
end of it, they find out the other lady that was the housekeeper, her husband's living. It was just crazy. And then all of a sudden, everyone dies. And, yeah, it's wild.
we actually
it's on
say
my list
You can watch it,
because I've seen parts, but it's on my list to watch the full movie.
but I don't watch a lot of scary movies, so I'm surprised I remember that.
we just like I said, we kind of just recorded our first couple episodes, and the second episode that we did was The Substance. Have you guys seen The Substance yet? With
not
Demi
seen-
Moore?
With Demi
Holy
Moore?
Yeah.
shit, bro!
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was actually up for Film of the Year. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Oscar
The
nominated.
substance.
Yeah, The Substance. And then Demi Moore was up for Best Actress.
She was up for Best Actress. It was they won Makeup and Hair is the one they won. It was
Okay.
Best Actress, Directing, I think.
Yeah,
Best
Best Director.
Picture,
Cool.
and maybe like Best Concept, something like that. Original story or something like that. But
Dude, the Oscars used to be cool. I watched it this year. It was kind of like lame as hell.
It's been lame for
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
I didn't watch.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
kind of
looked
the
up the
great-
next
kind
day.
of
I'm like,
the-
who won?
Kind of feel like as we get older, these award shows tend to,
maybe we're just getting
yeah.
crock. You know,
I feel
just
like there's
angry,
even
you know?
like with like music, there's a lot of musicians and stuff that come out, and people ask like, "Oh, do you know who this is?" And I was like, "No."
You know the statistic now. It used to be 40,000 songs drop a day. Now it's 120,000 songs drop a day.
A day.
That's crazy.
Day. Well, the whole world, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, and then now I used to feel like I'm sure you did too, man. You had like your finger on the pulse for the Charleston music scene.
Yeah.
Now I hear these new bands. I'm like, who the fuck is paper plane fucking bicycle?
Right.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
is that? It's just nuts. There's a lot of bands now. Actually, there's more artists than bands.
Okay.
There's not a lot of bands anymore. Have you noticed that? It's always
Yeah,
an artist.
it's usually kind of like a solo or somebody that's
It's not like all these rock bands anymore. It sucks.
yeah. And one of the things, like I said, because we're going all over the place. Especially with you guys being musicians and us being buried into the music scene as much as we are, we're going with horror music too. She's a big Ice Nine Kills fan.
Huge Ice Nine
Oh,
Kills.
word.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Shoot. What's the German guy's name? Real scary singer.
She would probably know better than me. I
He's
don't.
German.
Ooh, I
And
don't.
I saw him in L.A. He's like something Meister or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Real famous dude. Anyway,
I probably would-
scary
the
shit,
second
that's what
I-
I'm saying. Very industrial sounding.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, just.
I was telling him that like I didn't realize like the Misfits did horror music too, and so like I was gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm sure. but,
Yeah.
but Ice Nine Kills, yeah, like I do
What's
love.
the goth bar up here? You and I went there. We got wasted, and I left you.
Oh,
We
which
went to
one?
the
Oh,
goth bar and we got
Brandy, don't
wasted.
talk about
yeah, the one off of
What's it called? Not Cuddy's. Not Cuddy's. It's,
What is it?
it's past the rec room in that parking lot.
Yes, it's not Cuddy's or.
I know, because that's when we ran into Spoda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes it a goth bar?
It's a goth bar.
Yeah, no, it's full on like all.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta find it.
He's got it.
Hold on. I'm gonna find it. It's gonna kick my butt. I hate not knowing.
But no, so we're gonna dive into we kind of started talking because Ice Nine Kills specifically, which Diana's getting me into. I've been listening to a lot more lately.
Nice.
They actually, they have entire songs that are like titled, not necessarily titled.
They're not titled for. Each song is about like a movie, so they have like "Enjoy Your Sleigh," which is about The Shining. The showering scene, which is about Psycho.
Oh wow.
Stabbing in the Dark is about Halloween. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday the 13th. I can keep going. I was
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and so she's a little more on the kind of more modern end of it. But we were talking about too that like.
Shuggies.
There you go.
That's
Thanks.
Shuggies, okay.
Shuggies?
Shuggies.
Shuggies. All right, cool.
Okay. But she's a little on the more modern end of it. But just talking about like back in the day watching like seeing Manson for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Or like Guar, like, or that kind of stuff. So I mean we're diving into music. We have a couple friends that are also authors that working with and. So we're going all over the place, man.
Yeah.
But so
Any live music shows you're looking forward to? Since we're kind of talking about music.
you know what? I haven't seen
a show in a minute?
in a while. It's been a minute.
You just saw Gary Clark Jr., right?
I did.
How was
Yeah,
that?
that pack, it was awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
he just rocked out, man.
That'd have been sick.
We had fun with the crowd too.
Yeah.
And like the Packet's an auditorium, so everyone's just sitting down most of the show. And
Yeah.
it drives me nuts. I want everyone to stand up. I'm like,
Enjoy it. And
I saw him in Nashville with Leon Bridges,
Mm-hmm.
with Chris Schneider, whatever, like the Lincoln Center. Yeah, everyone was sitting down. And so then I stood up because I'm like smoking weed and I'm just like having a great time. And this old guy's like, sit down. And I go, shut up. And all of a sudden everyone stood up and I literally went like that.
I was really.
yep.
We saw Tenacious D a couple years ago,
Oh,
and
sick.
it was one of my
Nice.
favorite shows.
yeah.
I
But
don't know how you sit
Love
down
Jack
at a
Black.
Tenacious D show.
there, I mean, it was
Like,
set up to be sitting down, but
Right.
everyone stood up and had fun, and like, I mean, there'd be times I felt bad, huh?
Which venue?
I think it was up in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
It was the Pavilion up in
Yeah,
Charlotte.
that's a big one.
Yeah, it was awesome. I've
Yeah.
never been. I enjoyed it, but
Yeah, it's like the
but
music center they call it or something.
yeah, yes, but yeah, Tenacious D did a fantastic job. Jack Black's Everybody's
Jack Black's
amazing.
my hero. I watch Nacho Libre probably once a month.
Nacho.
Yes, it's me. Yeah.
Yeah, to answer your question of coming up, Ice Nine Kills is actually going to be at House of Blues in Myrtle Beach in
Ooh,
June.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Very cool.
That'll be a fun one.
They're doing a 2-night show. It's like one for each album.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
All right, one more drink.
Yeah, this is.
Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys?
How you feeling there?
Yeah. Are you,
Good.
how are
Vince-
you
Vince
two
Bur-
feeling? We're okay.
Vince Bourbon is it's gonna put you on your ass.
Hey, if,
Yes, it will.
I don't drink and drive. I drive and drink. There's a difference. No, I'm just kidding. I always make jokes like, "Hey, if you run out of gas, just put this in the car."
Yes. But it's
No, I-
delicious.
I think the saddest thing is I think the last I don't know which one it was. Probably either Ryan Adams.
Yeah.
At the Performing Arts Center, which I love Ryan Adams, so
Dude, he has followed me and unfollowed me on Instagram like 10 times.
yeah, and that was
It breaks my heart. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? And then,
yeah,
yeah.
and that was before the like fallout with Mandy Moore or whatever, but blah.
Who cares? He's back. He's rocking it.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Just announced his world tour.
And then maybe before that was Shine Down with 6 a.m.
Oh, cool.
at the Coliseum,
Nice.
which was, I mean, that's been forever. That's been about 5 years ago, something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, I think that was the last one that I saw.
Well, dude, there's a new venue on James Island. Maybe you guys know about it. What's it? It's a distillery. The Rick House. Have you heard of that?
Rick
No.
House.
Yeah, dude. I think it's the guys from Virgil Kane got behind
I
it.
just heard about this the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a distillery room. It's a huge freaking stage. I think it's like 1,000 cap, man.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, there's new venues always popping up. The Refinery. Have you been there?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I played there like twice. Last one was there was June Lion. That was a blast. Anyway, whatever. There's just a lot more cool venues in Charleston. There used
Yeah,
to
you
not-
played
used to-
that show, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yep. My whatever. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, it was a big drinking night.
It was.
I saw Christina there. Here you go. Yeah.
Okay, there
she
you
was
go.
working
There you
with the CBD from work. Dude, Ricker killed it. He was playing and then he screwed up on a stop, but he always does this shit. He'll stop and I'll be like terrified. I'm like, what the hell did you just do? And he just somehow comes back into it and just kills it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yo, okay, cool.
I've seen him break sticks or throw one and then
Oh,
miss it and then catch it. And then
The best
find
is
another
when he's really into a song and he just takes his glasses and just chucks them.
one. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. I can't tell you. I've probably seen him do that like 3 times and it's amazing every single
is,
time.
it is.
Yeah.
So and George Barris, he's amazing on bass. That filthy, dirty distortion.
Oh, yeah, George is
Mhm.
great. Yeah, George has always been good. What do you guys like? So from the podcast, and because of course we're trying to break in, and it's super saturated, and you know this from being a musician that it's super saturated. Like, so what has worked well for you, or what do you?
I think for the podcast, and
Yeah.
you can relate to music too, is just, man, you got to just, it's me mainly, and I bring friends.
Sure.
If I had another partner on it, I think I would probably get stressed out because I work all the time. I just love to always be doing something. And so I think what's good for me just doing it on my own is I just book them as fast as I can. And
Right.
now I have quite a bit of episodes, and now I'm just doing clips like crazy. So I have a lot of content. So you just got to get a lot of it.
Right.
And then just keep putting it out. And then no one gives a shit. Just keep repurpose the same thing and do it again. And then just keep posting, man. Like, I mean, there's a couple podcasts in Nashville I'm friends with. They just post all the time too. Go, dude, I just got like, another 10,000 followers. Like, you just got to post all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
Gotta-
think when people see that too, they think, oh man, you're killing it. It's kind of funny with this, right? Or even with music, I think, is when you're not posting, people think you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid as shit. So if I post like crazy about the Boons, people are like, man, you're killing it, dude. I'm like, dude, we're doing a lot actually.
Right.
And so I think you just gotta just make a lot of content, and that's kind of it, man.
Yeah, and that's what we've kind of started out working on. Even though like our first 2 episodes aren't out yet, they should be within the next week. But they're just trying to get our social medias going. And
Maybe shoot some episodes here eventually if you got some guests.
yeah, absolutely. And just getting our social medias going and just putting stuff out there and just trying to get people kind of like hyped on it on our socials, and then hopefully when our episodes start dropping, we'll start pulling in more.
Let me ask you this: are you guys gonna do like maybe I mean a lot of people do it, like maybe make some merch, or are you gonna do like a live event, go host them at the Terrace Theater or some shit like that, or
Yeah, that's definitely in the future for us.
like what's big in Charleston for horror stuff? Is it Halloween time? Obviously, there's a lot of events going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like ghost tours and things like that, and that was one thing he was talking about. Maybe getting a couple people who do the ghost tours on and just having them
Yeah.
talk about it and like what their favorite ghost story is of Charleston.
Sure.
That's awesome.
So that was one of our ideas, but yeah, I mean we'll do live events here and there eventually. Just
Yep, and we get some decent horror conventions here. So we'll definitely, as those come up, and not just horror conventions, we get comic conventions and stuff like that too. So since we're kind of all over the place,
Sure.
we're not necessarily, just locking into that. Like we're working on.
Maybe go to Comic-Con one day, San Diego.
No,
That's-
I wish.
I would love to.
I got lucky because my twin brother used to like work for people that needed him to go interview people, and we interviewed. I fucked up because I didn't know how to act. I was like 20,
Mhm.
and so it was Workaholics. And I walked right up to the drug dealer, Carl. I was like, hey, can I buy any drugs? He's like, yeah, what's your number, dude? And I was like, oh, I'm just kidding. And he literally goes, and this is such a long time. He literally had a flip phone,
Right.
like a
Flip phones.
sidekick. And he just goes, dude, get the hell away from me. And Hunter goes, Tyler, dude, what? Like, he's like,
yeah.
And then he goes, all right, I have to go do this Walking Dead thing because Walking Dead was real big. This is like 2008,
Right.
2010 probably. Anyway, and he goes, you need to go to Archer, which I love that show too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain's always popping around.
Oh,
And
nice.
so he comes walking in, and then it's what's his face who does Cyril Figgis' voice, who's from SNL. He walks up,
Pernell. Pernell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Parnell, yeah.
and
Her dog's name is Archer, by the way.
oh hell yeah, I love
Nice.
that.
That's when he's in
Sterling
trouble.
Archer.
I would say when he's in
specifically.
trouble, he gets the full Sterling Mallory Archer.
Mallory Archer, yeah.
Go back to
I
Hog
do-
Island. That's not a real place.
One of the first times I went to her house, like she was like Archer, and I was like, oh, okay, Archer, and then like he did something, and then she busted out the whole Sterling Mallory, and I was like, hell yeah, I love it.
I love Archer.
Oh, I do.
Channeling like Jessica Walters there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the last seasons of Archer got a little too weird, and I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
But I always watch like the first 10. It's the Vice City one's the best. I used to manage.
Yeah, Vice City is really good.
Super good. I used to manage. Used to help manage. Put it that way. Driving and Crying for a while, old rock band.
Yeah.
And the what does she say? The country outlaw. Like when she's like thinks she could be a country star.
Oh yeah.
All that music was written by Kevin Kenny, lead singer. Because
No
Oh,
way.
okay, yeah. The what's the receptionist's name?
Cheryl. Well, she goes by different names.
Yeah, Carol,
Yeah.
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes by all different. Yeah, Charlene.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she changes her name every day.
Yeah.
What do you do it online? I'm doing a prank test. Oh, you mean one that you take online? Yeah, I want to find out now. Yeah. I can quote that. I don't remember shit from college, but I can quote.
Yeah,
shit like
Archer
that.
all day long. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I mean, if you're taking a break or not, but well, you know, we already asked you your favorite bar. You got to think a favorite restaurant in town, Charleston, at the moment.
Restaurant in Charleston. So mine is an old but good, but I love the Tattooed Moose.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I am a Tattooed Moose junkie.
Mm-hmm.
So we go Park Circle one.
Even if I go through Park Circle, which is the one that's closest to me, the biggest thing is they make their own pickles, and I'm a pickle
Oh
junkie.
yeah.
So the
So
tomatoes and the cucumber pickles. So even if I like just happen past it, like I'll stop and get a pint of pickles.
There you go.
I do, yeah. You
It's
just
a
go
healthy
and
snack.
you get the pint and
Oh,
like
so
just
good.
just trash those pickles. But yeah, I mean, I've been going to the Moose for a long time. In fact, the first time I went to the Moose is when it was still down here on East Bay.
Yeah.
And my brother Johnny took me. I had never been there before, but he walked in and they were like, "You're gonna have, you're gonna have a whiskey and Coke, and you're gonna have the Thanksgiving sandwich." And
Oh yeah.
he was like, "Yep." I was like, "Dude, you're here that much, you don't even order." And they're like, "No." I just walk in, they know what I want. So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, so I've loved the Moose for a long time.
What's your favorite spot?
Honestly, we have Azul's right down the street from our house, and
Nice.
I'm
Like
always
Azul's.
down. They have their own like jalapeno tequila,
Mm.
like jalapeno. Oh, it's so
So
good, and they
good.
make good margaritas with it. So I'm always down for margaritas and Mexican food. I'm not gonna lie. It's always a good go-to.
What are you, bud?
Oh man, Rebel Taqueria.
Guys, we're going after this.
Yeah.
You guys
place
gotta
is
check it out
amazing.
sometime. The tacos are
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so if we're gonna talk tacos, have you been to El Molino?
No.
What's that?
Okay, so El Molino is actually right up the street. It's right off Cosgrove in West Ashley, and it's actually like a Hispanic market.
Cool.
But you can order food, so it's not like a real deal, like
it's-
sit down restaurant.
Is it by the bank?
No,
Federal?
it's right there. You know where the old Chuck E. Cheese was?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and so actually, if you're Righteous Gemstones fans,
Yeah.
in the last season, season 3, when the car bomb went off,
Yeah. Was it right there?
that's that parking lot.
That's
Oh.
Yeah. So I was actually trying to go to that restaurant one day. I was like, man, I really want some
And there's-
tacos.
there's
So I was
food.
going, and like there's cars flipped over, and like the whole parking lot's torn up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
I'm so annoying when that show comes on. If someone else who's not from Charleston, I'm like, oh,
yeah, I know.
Yes. Yep.
Because you're constantly like, oh,
I know that.
Yeah, that's the place.
That's cool.
So yeah, and it was funny because that happened, and they filmed it right in that parking lot, and so the whole time I was watching season 3, I was like, where's the blown up fucking parking lot?
Daniel Bright's got a tequila now.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I forget the name.
What's
of
it? I was about to ask.
It's got like a nacho guy on it. One of those wrestlers.
Yeah.
Nacho Libre, whatever you call it.
Oh yeah, what a luchador.
Luchador.
Yeah.
It's got a nacho on it.
You've been watching too much Nacho Libre.
Exactly. Once a month.
Yeah, once a month when I'm hungover. All right, well, last drink. We'll get a couple more questions. We got to wrap.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for having us.
No, thank you guys for having us. This is like a labor of love for us, and any kind of exposure that we can get.
Yeah.
It's,
Fuck yeah.
is amazing.
I appreciate it.
My plan is to keep using the spot when I'm in town, and we should do it again in a couple months to go, hey, well, how you been? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I've been talking to you for
A long
shit,
time.
probably like a year. Like a year. I'm like, when do you want a podcast? Let's just
Well, props to you. The reason why I found this place, I was like, I gotta find one, was because you kept asking. I was like, I need to fucking find one.
yeah, and I was like, hey man, we can even zoom on
And
this shit.
give props to Studio. What's the name you guys call it? Soul in Studios.
Soul In Studios. Thank you guys. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank you
y'all.
guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time, so we're really excited to be on, and obviously any kind of exposure we can get, and that's what we're all about, just cross promotion with everybody. Like I said, we've got a lot of our friends that are trying to come on and take us on their podcasts and stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah.
I know that's obviously it's very key to like getting yourself out there. So
Yeah, well, like I said, man, just keep shooting them.
yeah,
And then
we
you'll
will.
just be loving it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
you download the Spotify podcaster app, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I got 100 plays in Chicago. What the hell? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
So it's cool, So, all right, well, hey, Ivy, before I wrap it up, you got anything you want to say, dude?
Thank you guys for having me on here. For real, this is my first time, so on a podcast ever.
And we're gonna have a couple beers down at Rebel after.
Oh
this.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I was in Charlotte and I was in Columbia, and I feel terrible, but
Do you
I'm
really?
down. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll hear the dog. Yeah.
Rally.
It's been a long week. I've been doing Boone's bourbon, Boone's beer shit. So
Just doing promotion all week.
just meeting people, and of course you're like, I get a high off of it. They go, "This is yours." I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's drink it." And so then by the end of the day, you're just.
Oh
wrecked,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? You got any shows coming up, Ivy?
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna be playing at Tiki Taco April 19th.
With Brandon?
Yeah.
That's a fun spot.
So we now named it Brandon and the Boys. So it's Alan Smith, Brandon Lamar Simmons, and me and myself.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
It has a full blown sound system there.
Yeah. I know.
I
I love
remember
it.
I went. I'm the king of this. I'm sure maybe you do it too, just because cool guys do it. I am the king of Irish goodbye.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I fucking
Like you mentioned earlier, how you just
Dip out.
left me at Shuggies. Yeah.
When I walk out of the bathroom, I'm like, it's time to go.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Just like call him. Are you dead, man? What's going on?
No, he just did.
Which location are you playing? Because there's like
I was.
4 of them.
That
now?
was.
So the one in Somerville off 17A.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah, so right
yeah.
down the street from my house.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, man.
You said April 19th?
April 19th. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a big one. Brandon hired a videographer and everything. So we'll,
Nice.
Nice.
yeah.
Hey man, that's awesome. You guys last were there. It was a lot of fun. I did Irish goodbye then too. But
Yeah, you did. But you showed up already
I
pretty
did-
hammered.
Yeah, I was. Remember me, bitch?
Yep. You hopped on stage for a couple or one song, I should say.
Like
Yeah.
We're done.
Yep.
That was funny.
I feel like maybe the more that you drink, the better you play.
I think you think that.
It's the more
I think you
it's
think
the
that.
more
The
people
confidence.
drink, the better you sound.
Maybe that's
yeah.
maybe that's what I'm confusing.
No, because when you
Maybe it's the more that I drink, the better you sound.
That's exactly yeah.
Okay.
when we played July 4th Boone's Bar, and we used to, when we were
Oh,
in college, and like post college, we were just stacking up gigs like crazy. And so some days we'd make like $500 each, but we'd play 3 shows in a day.
Right.
And it was July 4th, it was out on Reds, and we were getting hammered.
Yep.
And then I don't think we did anything after that, but maybe it was just 2. And then we were playing at Boone's. He had a bottle of Larkin C whiskey next to him.
Yeah.
And I remember he went to do this, he just fell down. And he almost fell out the window.
Oh,
my God.
they got it. I think they was boarded up.
Yeah,
To be fair.
And we all just stopped, and everyone just started laughing.
Yeah.
No one was pissed.
Nope. Dan and John are just looking at me like, get your shit together.
Well, let's if you got anything else to say, do. But tell people how they could find you. Plug your stuff.
Yeah, you can find us at Strange Diamonds at Podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And then you can also email us at strangediamondspodcast@gmail.com. Any ideas, any history?
And all
Movies,
the
whatever.
tags are the same.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
just straight-
Strange Diamonds podcast. We're always looking for new ideas. I mean, we've just planning so far. I mean, we kind of already have like some that we're looking to do, but we definitely want to have more community interaction. So anybody that wants to like shoot us an email, hit us up on Insta, whatever. Tell us what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about, and we'll get into it.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
Well, Ivy, anything else, bud?
Yeah, everything else is good, bud.
All right, cool. Well, cheers. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, cheers.
All right. Thank you,
Solid
guys.
Studios. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers, Ivy.
Cheers.
Cheers. Dirty D.
Thanks, guys.